If you look back on COVID-19 case numbers on the Lehigh Valley Health Network website, they go back to March 16th of 2020. Over a year later, we have hope thanks to vaccines, falling case numbers, and the continuing efforts of those working on the front lines of the pandemic. Today, we kick off a series with Lehigh Valley Health Network employees looking back at the past year. In our first part of the series, Lisa Sugar interviews Dennis Gantz, the General Manager of Lehigh Valley Health Network Emergency Medical Services, and Wally Boyle, the LVHN EMS Paramedic Coordinator.
It's great to see you guys. I know you've been dealing with a lot for the past year. I mean, your jobs are always tough. But Dennis, let's start with you. How tough was it when you first heard the words pandemic and COVID-19 about a year ago?
I mean, obviously, when you hear the words pandemic, you're not sure what to expect. But we've been down this road before with the H1N1 or the swine flu. So, we looked at it, said, well, we've been there. We know what we've done during that. So not knowing exactly the extent of where this was going to go, we felt prepared. It's our job. It's what we do. And we were ready to make the changes if necessary to keep everybody safe and continue to do what we know to do, and that's care for our patients when they call for us.
How did it change your job on a daily basis now that COVID entered the world?
Protect ourselves a lot more, wearing a lot more protective equipment. I mean, previously gloves were the standard of protection. Because of this being an airborne virus, obviously we had to go with the masks that you see that we're wearing today, and kind of keep our distance. We got bulletins from the state Department of Health for EMS telling us that we can actually do a patient assessment 6 feet away, to keep the first responders safe and still be able to provide patient care at the onset of it. And we did a lot of education at the beginning because, like Dennis said, we thought it was going to be more like the H1N1 until things progressed after the first 2 weeks and we saw how serious it was becoming.
You have to worry about yourself as well. So that's like kind of a double stressor on you. So I know all first responders dealt with and are still dealing with stress. How difficult was that, and how difficult is it still?
Once we saw the seriousness of this, and after the first couple of weeks of the pandemic, obviously entering into the Hazleton area here, we did have to take some measures to make sure that we were keeping not only our patients and everybody safe, but also ourselves. And we wanted to make sure our staff did not take it home to their families, and that we were doing what we needed to do before they left the building. So we offered a lot of paper bags, and we were encouraging people to change out of their uniforms, hand wash, and good hygiene before they leave the station, and then take their uniforms home in a paper bag and immediately throw them in the washer as they enter. Once they got to their homes, leave your shoes at the front door. I know at my home, my wife and I both working for the health network, we had an area as soon as we walk into the house where we take our shoes off and we spray them with a Lysol spray or some kind of a disinfectant that was approved to combat the COVID-19 virus, and then we go and wash our clothes and everything, take a shower and whatnot. So we were encouraging that amongst all of our staff, making sure that they were keeping themselves safe all day long throughout the day, and so they could go home and have a little bit of comfort at home and not have to worry about it as much once they got home, because we know that they did everything prior to leaving work that's going to keep them safe.
And you want to stress, Dennis, that people should not hesitate to call you under any circumstances, whatever they need you for, that they don't have to be afraid, that everything is sanitized constantly. So tell our viewers about that everything is fine, and if they need you, call you.
Your health is valuable. You only get one life to enjoy, and we want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself in every way possible. Please don't ignore any signs and symptoms of anything. Don't be afraid to call us. Don't be afraid to go to the hospital. I can assure you that at LVH and EMS, we partner with our city fire department here, and if we have to, we're deconning our ambulance after every patient contact and every call. But on extreme cases, the city of Hazleton has purchased a misting machine, similar to what you've been seeing on the news networks with the airports and whatnot. And so we take our ambulances to the city fire department station, and we completely missed and decon our ambulances inside. And all our transport vehicles, our wheelchair and stretcher van vehicles. So they are extremely safe. They're decontaminated. They're sanitized. Our crews do everything to keep themselves safe with the protective gear. And then once we get you to the hospital, you know, the staff and the colleagues in the emergency departments and on the floors are extremely professional in keeping everything safe. If a patient does have COVID, there is an area where we take that patient for COVID. And everyone else is in different areas. So there's nothing to be worried about. If you have to go to the hospital, you call us. We're going to come and we're going to get you there.
Absolutely.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Frankie's Pizzeria, located at 3739 Wyoming Street in Hazleton. Every Friday night is all-you-can-eat crab legs from 5 until 8 p.m. Reservations are suggested. You can call 570-454-6000 to make a reservation or for more information.